We're four friends who live across the globe
and share a love of Bon Appétit's YouTube channel.
So we came together to bring you our thoughts on what BA serves up.
And try our hands at recreating their dishes.
Welcome to Pod Appétit.
Hi, it's Amanda. I'm back for another side dish. I am attempting a protein this time. I'm going to be making Priya's garlic ginger chicken. So I'm going to start by watching the video and reacting to that. So here we go. Same Priya. I can also perform Chicago. There might be singing in this episode. Sensual meat. I'm excited to do the boneless, skinless chicken breasts because I agree. It's my favorite kind of chicken. I love that Priya doesn't know that she's like entering into the lemon squeezer debate. I've never chopped herbs before. This will be a new thing for me. I'm not going to freshly grind coriander, sorry. But I have some that I found. I'm excited. I don't know I've ever marinated anything other than like Italian dressing. Oh, refrigerate between 2 to 12 hours. That's good because I'm probably going to get it marinating and then be gone for a few hours and then come back and cook. I love how excited she is every time she says breasts. Flipperooski. Waiting until it gets golden. The thing is that the marinade is also golden. This is going to be a challenge for me later, I think. Maybe I need to FaceTime someone from my family during this. I don't have anyone in Norway, though. This reminds me, I really, really want to get Priya's cookbook, Indianish. Reading through the recipe, Priya even puts in the recipe, don't peek at the chicken. I haven't had lunch yet today. This is making my stomach growl. I hope I get an awesome with 2 exclamation points for this chicken dish. We'll see. I really still want to see Priya as a child actor. This needs to happen, internet. Priya, if you're listening. Oh my God. If you were listening, I would die. But that would be amazing. Okay. Next up will be mixing the marinade. Hello, I'm back. I'm going to be making things. I think I got all my tools together the way that Justine and LJ and Meg have told me to do, but we'll see. The first thing, and I do have to say, I find this a small flaw with this video, much as I love it, is the first thing that you need to do is have finely chopped ginger and garlic. However, in the video, they just had these neat, adorable little bowls already finely chopped in there, but I have to do that step. I don't have a production team to finely chop those things for me. So we're going to go for the garlic. Oh, just went to throw that away. And there's an old purse in the garbage. Interesting. Speaking of, if I need to FaceTime, just like Priya did, I don't have to FaceTime. 2 of my 3 nephews are staying over tonight, and they're just in the other room watching the Lego Movie 2. The second one. I feel like I should have peeled this before I started recording, but you won't be hearing all this peeling action because Justine's going to go in there and edit like a mother effing boss. So this calls for 8 cloves of garlic. But I think I'm just going to use this whole head because it's about 8 cloves. And I really like garlic. And I wouldn't know what to do with like the last like clove and a half that would be left over. I mean, I could put it in my ear like Brad likes to do. Okay, I'm going to try to do the thing that Brad and LJ and everybody said where you don't have to peel off that last layer. You just kind of do it when you smash it. Oh, well, this one did peel all the way off. I'm just going to mince that. Never minced garlic myself before. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh. Can I just like straight up just eat chopped garlic? Is that cool? Well, there's 1 clove minced. Maybe I should be mincing it all at once instead of each clove separately. I know someone is listening right now and being like, yes, of course, Amanda. Why don't you know how to mince things? Because I don't. I really don't. I feel like while I'm doing this is when I should be doing my Chicago performance, like Priya. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the part that she started on. Yeah, I've listened to it a lot. I think one of my favorite lines in the song All That Jazz, though, is, we're gonna bunny hug. I bought some aspirin down at United Drug. I just love that they rhyme bunny hug and United Drug. But why did they buy aspirin at United Drug? In case you shake apart and want a brand new start. To do that jazz. Okay, minced garlic going in the bowl. Now I'm going to do ginger. And I've never cooked with ginger before. I'm not big on ginger, like ginger snap cookies or whatever. But if it's just like a straight up ginger sauce, I'm not usually into it. But the whole idea of it being like mixed in with the garlic, I wanted to try it. But I have learned from other videos from BA that you don't necessarily need to peel the ginger. So I'm not going to, because that's more work. But I am going to rinse it off because it's, earthy and shit. And let me tell you how hard it was to find ginger at Kroger. I was like looking all over and I kept finding ginger paste, not regular old ginger. Finally chopped fresh ginger, 2 tablespoons. Okay, here we go. Whew, man, that's a ginger smell. Maybe I should have peeled it. Too late now. It's just kind of, I don't know, like vegetal and stringy. It smells good though. So another song from Chicago. I haven't sung at a cabaret, but I've sung at karaoke several times. This is When You're Good to Mama. That's a fun one. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? So I know that Priya said in the video that she got to college and she didn't have a voice anymore, but I thought her singing was good in the video. I want more, I know I keep saying it, but I want more Priya theater kid stuff. I too, as a child, thought I might be an actor someday. And I do local theater stuff, but definitely not a professional acting at all. Nowadays I prefer to do behind the scenes stuff. Oh, I have a nephew who has entered the room. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Gavin and I'm getting a drink of water.
Good thinking. I am chopping ginger. Remember that little ginger
Yes.
that took us forever to find at Kroger?
Yeah.
You drink your water. If you need to come back for more water, that's fine. Water is important for you. Does your body good.
And also your body is mostly percent of water, so...
You're right. Your body is mostly water. I love my nephews. Gavin has appeared several times on my podcast, Amanda's Picture Show Go-Go, which is making its return this week as well, because it's awards season. Okay, so I found if I kind of chop off the skin, even though I was like, I'm not going to, it actually makes it easier to chop because the skin is the part that's sort of stringy. I mean, it's all a little stringy, but it's stringier and harder to cut through. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked I've not cut myself on Pod Appétit yet. Now I've cursed myself. Oh, shit. Knocking on wood because I just handed the sharp end of the knife into my own hand. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm just going to try to do a little chop on all of those. Chopped ginger and garlic in the bowl. All right, next up we got the lemon. I'm getting really good at buying lemons now. This will be the 3rd recipe I've done for Pod Appétit that's used some sort of citrus. And I have made the lemon Christmas cookies a couple other times. I'm getting good at this juicing of the lemon part. And I like doing it a lot. I've gotten better at chopping them in half. And I know how to do it properly, unlike that ninja kid in that one video. Squelcha, squelcha, squelcha. I know I've said it before and I will say it again. It's so sexual squeezing lemons. The sound. It's juices. Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Consider that lemon juiced. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and add the olive oil. Now, one thing I have to say that I'm a little bit sad about in this episode is The beautiful Justine sent me some wonderful cooking tools for Christmas because she's wonderful. However, they are cups and not tablespoons. So I couldn't use them in this recipe because everything's like tablespoons. It's little like tiny bits. But I'm determined to use them soon. All right, there's olive oil. All right, next up is some more chopping. I got to chop up the cilantro and the mint. And I did not get as much cilantro as I did when I made deviled eggs and they were a little garnish. I just got a little tiny bit, and I'm going to go with Sonia Mommy and actually just use the little leaves because that seems easier. I'm sorry, Priya, but that's what I'm going for. I've never really cooked with cilantro. I've always used it more of a garnish, so this will be kind of interesting to see this turn out in the marinade for me. I'm supposed to have 1 tablespoon of finely chopped cilantro. Here's the thing. Again, I don't know how to chop herbs. I wonder if I should get a different knife. Okay, I think I have the right knife, but I went ahead and grabbed another one that's smaller. No, that's too small. Try this. I think it's just these knives aren't really sharp. It looks more like I'm just mushing these. This is not chopped at all. I wonder if tearing could work. It's the only way I'm getting these to chop. And it's supposed to be finely chopped. I don't think this is going to be finely chopped. I'm afraid I'm going to bruise the herbs the way Carla says not to do. I mean, I know they're supposed to be a little bruised, but like, I don't think they're supposed to be super, but they're supposed to be chopped up. I don't know. I'm having an existential crisis about cilantro currently. I will say I like smelling all of these herbs with like the garlic and the ginger though, and the lemon juice. I'm very excited to eat this once everything is all done. Yeah, that's like probably as good as that's gonna get, maybe. Okay. Try to stop the perfectionism. Just, this is what it's gonna be. All right, now it's mint time, and I must say it smells wonderful. I'm very excited for this. So I'm not a big fan of peppermint, but like mint leaves like this, I love in a mojito. I just think it smells so fresh and wonderful. I've never actually thought of putting mint with something savory, so this is really interesting to me. It actually, so when I smell fresh mint like this, I think of the greenhouse, which was the first job I had. I started working when I was 13, and I worked at Dill's Greenhouse, which is a family-run greenhouse here in town. And yeah, smelling this just makes me think of that because, you know, I was a transplanter. I'd take the little baby plants and put them in the flats that you buy them in. Oh, this is easier to chop. So much easier to chop than the cilantro. No mint existential crises here. Oh my gosh. This mint chopping is so much easier. Yeah, it was just you, cilantro. Oh, this is glorious. Oh my gosh. This is actually working really well. F you, cilantro. Mint, you're my new best friend. It's wonderful. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot of mint. You know what? I'm just going to go with it because I like the smell of the mint better. And it was nicer to me than the cilantro. So this is going to be mint heavy. Stirry stir. Wet ingredients. And now in another bowl, I'm going to do all of the dry ingredients. I'm going to start with the amchoor powder. And I have to say this smells amazing. I special ordered this from Amazon. This is calling for 1 teaspoon of amchoor. But oh my gosh, this smells so great. I love mango. Oh, seriously. It smells so good. Okay, I'm gonna do an Andy thing where I taste a little bit of it. It's very tangy. I like it. Oh, I picked up peach fruit pops today. I should have picked up mango from the store. Okay, next in coriander. Sorry, don't have freshly ground. All right, and that calls for a tablespoon. I do really like the smell of coriander. Pour that Coriander. I'm making up my own musical, apparently. Turmeric. Or turmeric. I always say turmeric. I don't know why. Okay, this one is a teaspoon. And we got the salt and the chili powder. 3/4 kosher salt. We're almost out of kosher salt. Oh, I need to get a smaller teaspoon thing. So, salt. 3/4 of a teaspoon. Woo! Okay. Some of that fell in, so it's generously salted. All right, next, red chili powder. So we had chili powder and we had red pepper powder, but I'm going with the red chili powder because it's much more red. As I've expressed on the podcast, I love spicy food. So I'm like, I'll go for the chili powder. So that's only 1/2 teaspoon. Whoa! Okay, yep, see, I overpoured. All right, I have such a cute little bowl of spices now. It's adorable. The mix of all of those spices I'm really liking. Like a little spicy, a little tangy. That is gonna go in the wet mix now. Oh, that poured in nicely. Priya's was so like red. Mine is definitely more brown. I mean, it smells good, but I'm just a little worried. I don't know if it's just that my spices are not as fresh as hers. I mean, probably. I got these from the spice rack at my mom's, so I don't know how long it's been there, but I hope this will be okay. I think I've stirred that enough. Time for it to go in a Ziploc bag. I'm gonna put the bag over the bowl, kind of. And then probably should have had somebody else help me with this. Oh no! I'm already dripping all over. I just tasted marinade though. Good marinade. It's real drippy. All right, here we are, featuring the return of Nephew Gavin. Dear Nephew Gavin, will you hold this bag like this?
Yes.
Merci beaucoup.
Huh?
That means thank you very much in French.
Oh. That looks yummy.
Does it? Does it smell good?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the marinade. And then I'm going to get the chicken breasts out of the fridge. And they're going to go in this bag. Does that sound good?
Yes.
What do you call podcasts?
Podcasts.
He calls them broadcasts, and it's adorable. And don't ever change.
I accidentally say that because whenever I try to say podcast, I accidentally say broadcast.
It's okay. I love it. It makes me love you and your brothers even more. Thanks, Gabby. I love you, kid.
You're welcome.
Mwah. Thank you once again to Nephew Gavin for his assist. Opening up the chicken breast now. So, recipe calls for 4 chicken breasts. Our grocery store sells chicken breasts in 3s. So, I got 3 chicken breasts. I just couldn't justify spending more money on 6 and having to figure out all the math of like 1.5ing everything. So, I went for this. I figure it'll just be extra marinated. I don't know. It was just too much math for me. I'm just gonna slide that breast right in. Breast 1 has landed. Breast 2 is a big one. She's a big one. You tell I have not made anything chicken on my own in a very long time. This is usually more what Jeremy does. He does the proteins. This is my first protein for the show. First protein I've made that wasn't like Hamburger Helper in a very long time. All right, 3rd breast is in. All right, I'm gonna seal up this bag now. So I went rogue and I grabbed a 2nd Ziploc bag to put this other one in so that if there's leakage, it just leaks into a 2nd Ziploc bag and not all over the kitchen or all over me massaging the breasts. Maybe I should have flattened these ahead of time, but I didn't. I went with what Priya did. I feel like I've gotten the bigger breast And now the last one, that Trixie one. I need to get her all covered up. I'm going to name that breast Trixie. I'm going to name all the breasts now. We're going to have Bertha, Trixie, and Karen. Why Karen? Well, because there's so many memes on the internet. It's like, okay, Karen. But I have a very good friend, Karen, and an Aunt Karen. And I think it sometimes makes them sad. So the chicken breast that's behaving, I'm naming her Karen. Oh, instead of Bertha, I should name the big one Hildegard. I just find it more fun. She's thus Hildegard. All right, get in there, Hildegard. Trixie. All right, so these ladies, Hildegard, Trixie, and Karen, they are going to be going into the fridge now. They're going to be there for at least 2 hours, probably a little bit longer, because I think I'm going to let these marinate overnight, and then I'm going to make this dish first thing in the morning. I'm going to go edit some podcasts now, so I'll be back. The chicken has been marinating for roughly 10 hours. My next step is to put this pan on the stove at medium-high heat. So the recipe says once pan is quite hot, add remaining 1 teaspoon of oil. I don't know if there's like a specific sign that's supposed to tell me when the pan gets super hot. Okay, my mother's now in the room. I asked her how to find out if a pan is hot. She said drop a bead of water on the pan and see if it sizzles. It does. Time for olive oil. And then it said to swivel it around on the pan so that it's evenly distributed throughout. This feels like I'm doing chefy tricks. We're fully covered with the oil. Okay, here comes the part that I'm most anxious about, which is getting this chicken cooked. I've got the chicken. It's, like I said, been marinating for roughly 10 hours. I made sure I found tongs ahead of time. Here we go. Opening the bag of chicken. Open. Oh, it smells so good. All right, here goes the big girl. Woo. Sizzling. All right, next up, Trixie. And finally, Karen. Oh man. It's like hardcore sizzling happening. Oh boy. It's happening. It's happening. Oh, okay. Karen's good to flip. Oh, Hildegard is good to flip. Trixie probably is too. Yeah. Oh, yep. I was supposed to reduce the heat to medium. Shit. Karen's good. Here I go. Covering the pan with the duckin. Setting the timer for 10 minutes. I love that Priya puts in this recipe, reduce heat to low, cover and cook, and then in parentheses, without peeking for 10 minutes. So, oh boy, here we go. Not gonna peek, not gonna peek, not gonna peek. The 10 minutes is almost up. I have not peeked. Oh boy. Okay, next up, removing the pan from heat and letting it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the thickness of the breasts. I'm gonna do it for 15 minutes because Hildegard was quite thick. Here we go. I checked we don't have a meat thermometer, so after 15 minutes, I'll just have to slice her up and make sure we're good to go. I'm very nervous. I don't make proteins often. I hope I'm not poisoning my family. All right, here we go. It looks like chicken. Oh, that's hot. Smells like chicken. Okay, I've got to cut into the big one. Ooh. No pink. Oh man, this is so it's falling apart. Okay, I'm gonna try a little bit at the end. See how this tastes. Oh, I'm really liking that. It's very ginger forward, which I wasn't expecting, but
I'm okay with it. Even though I'm not usually that into ginger, just all of the other flavors in it together. Wow. Yeah. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. Guys, I made chicken. I'm going to do some cutting now. I did read in the comments that some people went ahead and made sauces out of the marinade and like boiled it down, like reduced it. I think that would be really cool to try next time because I definitely want to make this again. I mean, I have so much amchoor, why not? Part of Priya's point was let's give chicken breast a try. There's nothing wrong with the boneless, skinless chicken breast. And like, I don't know, a solid third of the people on Bon Appétit's website who made it were like, yeah, I went ahead and used thighs instead, or I used this instead. And I just feel like that's kind of defeating the purpose. Like, sure, make it your own, but like, maybe not on the first try. Trust in Priya. I was talking to my sister Faith last night once I'd finished the marinade. She said it was smelling really good. And she said she's never had Indian food. So this will be her first time eating any kind of Indian food, which is really kind of exciting that I get to introduce her to that. Though also I feel like I'm not doing Indian food justice. There is one dish I'm considering. It's not Priya's, it's Andy's. I'm considering doing for a side dish. That's a saffron rice. It's an older video, but I'm really thinking about it. It looks really good. I really love basmati rice, as I've talked about multiple times on the podcast. I like saffron. You know what? I keep grabbing little bits of this chicken that fall off. It's a chef snack. That's what Carla calls it. They're chef snacks. Oh my gosh, this is so tender though. It really is just falling apart. I'm gonna tear up some mint leaves. I think I like mint more than I like cilantro. I'll add cilantro too, because it's part of the recipe. Maybe not quite as much as I did with the mint. I have garnished. I'm so excited. Oh no, I may have just spotted one pink spot on the chicken. Oh no, oh no. God damn it. That's why I need a meat thermometer. Okay, it's just 2 little spots. Looks like it was from a thicker bit on the side. I think I'm done now. Removed any offending chicken bits. Who's here?
Keegan Edward Bailey.
Okay, and who's here?
Gavin.
Gavin's back. Okay, are you ready to try it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Gav?
This tastes really good, and it seems like it was made from one of the best restaurants, so you did a really good job.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, this chicken is delicious. We try something.
Spicy some places.
It would be a little bit spicy some places.
Maybe you should try a cooking show where you get like $100,000.
I don't know about that. I didn't come up with this recipe. This is somebody else's recipe.
Yes, but if you did,
but you like it? What do you think, Keegan?
Love it, love it, love it. It is great.
Would you eat it again if I made it again?
Yes.
Same. I love it.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Nobody wants to hear you chew into the microphone. Okay, we're done recording. So now I am back and Meg is here with me.
Hello.
Thanks for coming to talk with me about this, Meg. I know that you were also very interested in this recipe when it first popped up on Bon Appetit.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you about this recipe because I definitely want to hear all about your experience, and I'm hoping that you can give me some pointers because I really want to make this recipe. I just got some amchoor myself and most of the other ingredients, so I'm probably going to make it later this week. So how'd it go?
Overall, I think it went pretty well. The biggest disappointment for me is we did not have a meat thermometer. And so when I cut the chicken in half, I thought it was done, and I sliced up that half of the chicken, and I continued to slice it up. But then when I moved it into better light, because the lighting isn't great in the kitchen, some of the biggest breast still had a little bit of pink in it. So I had to pull those pieces away.
I see. That's good to know. In the video, there's a little pop-up that says you can pound the chicken if you want to flatten out the breast. And I had considered that I might want to do that when I make it because, as I've discussed many times on the podcast, I'm a little paranoid about undercooked chicken. And when I made Chris's chicken katsu sandwiches, I was real sure to pound those real flat. So I'm glad that you told me that. I think I will end up pounding the chicken breast before I make it.
I think that would be a good way to do it. Also, when I was reading through comments on the recipe on the website, some people ended up leaving it in the steaming portion, like where you take it off the heat but leave it covered. They left it for like 20 minutes instead of 15. It's like, it was really close. It was just once I got it in the light, I was like, oh, shoot.
Okay, well, we'll have to add a meat thermometer to the list of kitchen tools to get for Amanda. So there's a few things I'm dying to know about your experience. One is, did you peek at the chicken? Don't peek at the chicken.
I did not. It was very hard though. You know, even when I like rewatched the video a few times and then like read through the recipe, I loved that she put like, don't peek, like multiple times. Like the first like 10 minutes when it was still on like the low heat was fine. But then when it went to like the longer steaming in the, you know, taking off the heat, that's when I seriously had this urge like, oh God, I need to look at it. I need to make sure it's okay. And I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
The chicken gets embarrassed if you peek at it and it won't cook all the way.
Yeah, so Meg, I should let you know I may have named each breast.
Okay. Oh no, were there 4 chicken breasts? Are they named after us pals?
Oh God. That would have been great. There were actually, I ended up only making 3 chicken breasts, and it was largely because the chicken breasts were sold in 3s.
Okay, well, so what are the names? I have to know.
So there was a big one, and I called her a big girl because big boy seemed inappropriate for breasts. And originally I named her Bertha, and then I was like, nope, I'm changing it to Hildegard. And then I had Trixie. Each chicken breast was individually wrapped, which I thought was strange. When I tried to cut out the last one, it got stuck. And I was like, oh, this one's being Trixie. And that's when I was like, well, I guess I'm naming them. This is Trixie now. And then the one that was like well-behaved and normal was Karen.
But Karen's always the problem person, as evidenced in memes.
I know. And that's why I did it, is I was trying to counteract the memes because I have an Aunt Karen and I have a good friend named Karen. So I was trying to redeem it.
Oh, that's very nice
them.
of you. But if it had been the problem chicken breast, you know, it would have been quite therapeutic to be like, Karen, God damn it, Karen. A little weird, but I love it.
Because of the cooking issues, I think Trixie and Karen both were really, really good. And then like half of Hildegard was.
So speaking of weird energy, another thing I need to know, did you sing along to the Chicago soundtrack while making the dish, or any musical?
I did sing some Chicago and Oklahoma.
Good. Well, I wouldn't expect any less. I'm very glad to hear that you sung along. So tell me a little bit more about how it tasted, how the final product was. You said that you had your nephews try it. What'd they think?
My sister Faith last night, when I was like getting the marinade and everything like in the fridge, she was like, oh man, this is not white people chicken. I was like, no, it's not. She's like, you've got all sorts of herbs and stuff going on here. And I was like, yep.
Not Midwestern chicken.
Yeah, not Midwestern chicken. But my nephews, I mean, seriously loved it to the point that like, I was like, hold on, give me some baggies. And I had to put like 3 slices of chicken aside for my sister Faith, who I mentioned earlier in the episode, but she told me last night she's never tried Indian food before.
Well, so you got to introduce it to her.
So
that's awesome.
The kids were just like downing the chicken.
Oh, that's
they
great.
loved it. I was so excited.
Did you serve it with anything else, like rice or veggies or anything?
No. I think in the future I would definitely make some basmati rice with it. I think that would be really good. Or like, I think maybe broccoli or something would be really good with it. So I know you and I are both fans of boneless, skinless chicken breast and don't see the problem
No,
with
I
it.
don't.
This was so tender, Meg. As I was like slicing it, it was just falling apart, but like in the best way possible.
I really wanted to hear how this technique turned out, the nice low and slow. That makes me really happy to hear because I do like chicken breast. And with my tendency to really want to avoid undercooked chicken, I tend to overcook my chicken, which makes it dry. So I'm really glad to hear that it's juicy and tender. I'm just going to have to trust the recipe and Priya and not peek at it when it's steaming. I mean, I think it turned out great based on the pictures. It looks beautiful. It looks just like Priya's picture. I think it turned out wonderfully. I'm proud of you. Are you proud of how you did? Do you think it turned out? I know you said you were a little disappointed with the undercooked chicken, but it looks really good otherwise.
Yeah, I think overall I was really happy with it. And the only part like in the process of adding like everything together where I started to feel like I might go crazy was trying to chop the cilantro. I just like could not get it to chop. It just was like making like knife indentations. I had a full-on cilantro existential crisis, and it was just really frustrating. And I was like, is this knife not sharp enough? And then I tried to figure out if I should get a different knife. So yeah, I was all over the place. And so then I was really worried about the mint. And the mint chopped beautifully, so it was all the cilantro's fault. It wasn't my fault.
I think the most important thing that Priya mentioned was just she wanted the herbs to have even coverage on the chicken, which is why it needed to be chopped kind of finely. It sounds like it was fine what you did. I'm sure it was great.
Yeah. There's one ingredient that I was more surprised with, I think, than anything else was the mint. I'd never used mint in a savory dish before. And I thought it actually, like, complemented everything really well.
I think that sounds nice. And mint is really nice in savory lamb dishes. It's kind of like lamb and mint go together very classically. So if you ever have a chance to try that, that's pretty good mint savory combo as well. So I think you mentioned this is the first protein you've cooked for the podcast. Is that right?
Yes.
And you classify yourself as more of a baker. Is that also right?
Yes. Definitely.
So how do you feel after this? Are you more excited to try more proteins?
Yes. I'm still wary because of how like some of the chicken ended up a little undercooked. But I definitely want to do this again. And I special ordered amchoor and I have a ton of it. So I'm like, I could eat this on all sorts. I'm like, I'm going to have to find lots of more recipes to use this for because it was really good. And have you opened yours yet?
I haven't.
It smells so good.
I'm excited. That'll be the first thing I do after we're done recording here.
Yeah. And I totally pulled an Andy and I like tasted a little bit of it.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to trying mine. You could maybe get Priya's Indian-ish cookbook. There'd probably be a lot of recipes with amchoor.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that earlier on that I really want that cookbook, and I meant to ask for it for Christmas and forgot, but I got some Amazon gift cards, so I might order it because I really, really liked this dish. It's something I think I definitely make again. And I realized like I don't know the last time that I attempted to make chicken myself. Like typically my husband will make chicken or something, or I'll order it somewhere, or I get it like pre-cooked at Kroger or something. And the last time I think I've really made anything with a protein in general, like that I felt confident it was okay, was sausage in a cheese dip or hamburger helper or something like that. So I definitely feel like this gave me a little bit more confidence. As I don't know, we'll see what I might do with other things in the future, because this was the one that scared me the most out of all of the side dishes I've done and our specials. Like this is the recipe that terrified me. I was like afraid I was going to poison my family and myself and
Pretty sure you haven't poisoned anyone.
No, I think we're
Success.
good. I have a question for you. When you make this, what musical are you going to want to sing along to while you're making it?
I think I would have to sing along to Chicago to honor Priya and the spirit of the dish. But of course, I love Hamilton, so I'd probably transition from Chicago to Hamilton.
That makes sense. That would be very on brand for you, Meg.
Absolutely.
Nowadays.
And all that jazz.
Thanks for listening to Pod Appétit, a Bon Appetit fan cast.
We'd love to hear from you, so find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest at pod_appetit.
And on Facebook at Pod Appétit Podcast.
You can also email us at podappetitpodcast@gmail.com and find all of our episodes on our website, podappetitpodcast.com.
Until next time, the test kitchen is closed.
From our bedroom studio to your ears comes a show that is bound to have you laughing, either with or at the hosts, relating to the stories, and even learning a little along the way. Join Bhavni and Taranji every Thursday on Drive With Us podcast as they strive to make your commute more enjoyable by sharing the disasters of theirs.
I was driving I wasn't. Welcome to Maryland.
The way you said it.
Welcome. You'll see more, just wait.
Be a part of the show by submitting your stories to be featured on the Commuter Update and let listeners around the world know how crazy, entertaining, and weird commuting can be.
There is a flock of full-grown turkeys, and every time a car tried to go by them, they would just lunge at the hood of the car.
I have the nerve to say in my hysteria, oh no, I need to see the body.
We need a body.
I said that to a LAPD officer.
Go to www.drivewithuspodcast.com to share your stories, listen to episodes, and get access to extra content.